So my first thought when David reached out to me and asked me to do the project, let me back up. Sorry, start over.
Good.
Okay. So I've always said, back up again. Okay. I had already thought about what I was going to say. So in 2019, no, back up again. You know, man, Hootsuite, I'm indifferent. You know, if you definitely don't have the time to do it yourself, there's nothing wrong with Hootsuite. If you have the time to do it yourself, I wouldn't go Hootsuite, just because the platforms are going to reward you. You know what I'm saying? If you are posting it yourself in real time. That was one of the things we discussed at the mastermind. This was like, you know, you can't beat you logging in and posting a video on Facebook or on LinkedIn in real time, but at the same time, you know, there's, you know, you're worth a lot per hour, and there's a lot of things that are more important than posting on social media sometimes. You know what I mean? So here's what I would do. So when you write your business plan, you figure up all your expenses on the high end. And then what you do, let's say you budgeted $500 a month for the phone bill. Then when you go sign up with that phone company, you figure out, how can I get this cheaper? Okay, now you just bought yourself $200. Okay, so that's what you do. When you do your business plan, you figure everything high, and then you try to come in below that. And what you want to figure out is you want to figure out, what are my hard numbers that this thing has to run on? Okay. Hey, you want to have some fun? Listen to Scott on half speed. It is, I'm not even trying to make a joke, like, it is the funniest thing you have ever heard. It sounds like he's drunk. It's hilarious.
Because I love you more than you love me, but that's okay. We both got on a metal tube.
Independent agency owner struggle with number 2, and that's delegating things. Like, what you have to do is you literally have to write down and make a log of everything you do in your agency, and then you either automate it, outsource it, or delegate it. So literally everything you do, can I automate this, can I outsource this, or can I delegate it? And that's how you scale. That at a 30,000 foot view, without knowing like your specific problem that's holding you back, that's how you scale an agency, is you've got to have people. Portal would not be nearly as big as we are. We're not that big, but we would be a tenth of the size we are if it was just me doing all the production. If it wasn't for those people out there. So, in the business, you know that feeling you get when you write a piece of business, you just gotta let go of that. Because that's holding you back. You know what I mean? I had this like weird encounter with somebody buying something on Facebook Marketplace. I'll just find it. And he's turned it into a song, and it became this like super viral TikTok.
Yeah, I guess I missed that one somehow.
I think there's 2 TikToks. I think there's TikToks for young people and TikToks for old, boring adults. I got this question a lot when we started the podcast. Now it's become one of those things that it's what we do. But in the beginning, it's like, why are you doing this podcast where you're helping other agents? Like, you're literally helping your competition. And I would always answer with the same thing. I would say, you and I are not competitors. Yeah, I take a client from you, you take a client from me, net. I get frustrated with agents getting pissed off over losing one client. Like, yeah, there's some crappy situations, but for the most part, like, why are you getting upset over losing one client? Okay? We are not each other's competition. Our competition is the company trying to put us out of business. That is our competition. And that's how I feel. And the flip side of that is I could sit down with Aaron or you could sit down with me, or any of us could sit down with our biggest competitors and literally lay out the strategy, open our chest up, here it is, and they're still not gonna do it. Because here's the thing, it's like everybody wants to call you and be like, hey, how are you writing so much life insurance? Or how are you doing this? I don't know, like, it's a bunch of small little bitty things that add up. And what it boils down to is it boils down to having a plan and taking action on that plan. And people are okay with having a plan, but when it comes to taking action, they're like, oh, I want the silver bullet. The value adds of working at Portal Insurance is you're going to get all the business I would have gotten if I were writing insurance. And there's years and years and years of social proof that I've been putting in this area. When people think of insurance, they think of me. Not, again, just the way it is. Anyway, so it's very important, I think, Scott and Aaron, as an agency principal, that when that client does reach out to you, and it happened today, that transfer over to that producer, there's a very fine line between doing it eloquently and making them seem like they're not important and you're just passing them off to a CSR. And I think it's, so I explain it very similar to how you do. Hey, I'm going to send you over to Natasha. She specializes in habitational. That's what you got here. She's the best in the world at it. In fact, if you had any questions for me, I would probably go to her and ask those questions and then relay them back to you. This transaction is going to go best. However, I'm here. I'm in the back phone business. If you have a problem and if you ever want to visit with us in person, I will be sitting at the table right beside her. I think that's very important. But one point I want to make, I love that you said you sold that policy via text message without talking to those people. I've done that a bunch, as you can imagine. What someone who maybe is a little bit of a naysayer to that strategy is going to say is they're going to say, well, you have no relationship with that person. Maybe so. However, I've had 1 metric butt ton of people, more than you would think, that have left my agency and then they come back. And this is at Alpha and this is also at Portal. And then they come back. And I ask them, why'd you come back? Because I always ask that. Why'd you come back? And about 98% of them will say, because I can text you and you'll handle it. So would you define that as not a relationship? Is my question to that naysayer.